keep this a secret, right? Very traumatic. I would hear like tapping. So now I'm supposed to pay you for sexually assaulting me? Make it make sense. That I did not consent to. You really fucking thought you was gonna scare me? Radar going off. Bruises and burns on my legs. They may have ulterior motives. Like, the panic is really starting to set in. Are you starting to see kind of where I'm going with this? They did low-key kidnap us. Like, any type of way that we could communicate with each other or anybody else, they had that. The president's house, down the beach. They just didn't think that we should know. I literally cannot even believe that this shit really happened to me. I guess I'm just SOL. What's good, messy gang? It's your girl Des, and I'm back at you with another banger. So today we are going to be talking about something a little bit different, just because I really need to get something off my chest, okay? And honestly, I didn't even want to go into 2024 with this not being talked about, but I want to get it done and said and through before January is up, because February, that's when 2024 starts, okay? If you catch my vibes. Alrighty, y'all. So make sure you go ahead and buckle up, because this story is gonna be super freaking crazy. Like, I literally cannot even believe that this shit really happened to me. So I don't know, y'all. Just buckle up, be prepared, because it might get a little bit rocky. So let's get it. So if you already watched one of my last videos, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, go ahead and run that back so you're up to speed. Cool? So now that you know that this takes place during December of 2023 in Panama, you can kind of get an understanding of what's really happening, okay? So after we finally got to the hotel and spent like 4 hours in the car just trying to get across the Panama Canal and from the airport all the way to our resort that was in bumblefuck nowhere, we celebrated my mom's birthday and everything went really, really good. Then day 2 came around. So the next morning, we, got breakfast. Everything was going good. As a vacation should be. You should be just chilling, eating, drinking, having a good time, right? So then after breakfast, we decided to go to the beach, because we haven't been to the beach yet, especially since we got there and it was nighttime. So day 2, we head to the beach. When we get to the beach, we are already recording. Like, I think I have the video, so let me go ahead and put it in here for y'all. But just so you know, we were recording when we started going on to the beach, because it was just so pretty. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but beaches are just so... I love me a beach, okay? And this beach had 3, 4, 5, whatever, however many horses on the beach, okay? So I'm just like... no way, they did their thing with this one, okay? So boom, we're walking and we're recording, and when you get to the beach, there's like this line of trees that kind of separates what is apparently, which I later found out, is called the public versus like the private side of the beach, okay? So the line of trees separates the private side of the beach, and then after the line of trees is the public side, okay? This would have been nice to know when we first got to the resort, but they just didn't think that we should know. They didn't think that it was a concern for our safety. Anywho, so we get into the beach. We're not even across this line we're not even across the line of trees yet. So we're still in the private part of the beach, okay? And these 3 men on horses bum rush us, right? And they bum rush us. They grab all of our stuff out of our hands. And they're just like, oh, take pictures. We're going to take your pictures on the horses. So we're like... I mean, I guess you have all of our phones, you have our drinks, you have everything that we came with, like, so I guess. So we get on the horses and, they start, they say that they're going to take pictures of us, okay? Mind you, they still have our phones, okay? I didn't even see them take one picture. Okay, not one. Okay, so after everybody gets on the horses, we end up being taken down the beach, okay? Down the beach. Not right where we were. Down the beach. And mind you, the only thing that we were told was that we were going to be taking pictures on the horses. We didn't know that we were leaving anywhere. We didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? None of this was conveyed to us, okay? They start taking the horses down the beach, and they're just like, oh, we're going to take the pictures down there. We're going to show you, something down there, which they later told us was the president's house. Okay? So they take us, towards the president's house, or whatever the heck they say. Or whatever the heck they're talking about, okay? And so we ended up, leaving further down on the beach, and I started to get a little bit worried at this point, not only because we were leaving from where we were supposed to be at, and not only because they had all of our devices, like all of our phones, any type of way that we could communicate with each other or anybody else, they had that, okay? It wasn't even just because of that. It was because at this very moment, as soon as we started to leave from where they picked us up, where they kidnapped us, because they really did low-key kidnap us. Like, we did not willingly do this at all, okay? This is not willing, okay? Anyways, he keeps me behind my mom on her horse and my girlfriend on her horse. So we're all three on horses, okay? This is my horse all the way back here, like where we started. Like, this is the beach where we started, okay? This is the president's house somewhere up here, okay? It's literally like a mile at least. It's like half a mile to a mile on this beach, okay? So here we are. This is where we started, okay? This is me on my horse. This is my mom on her horse. This is Maddie on her horse, okay? They are completely separated from me. They're so far from me. Like, I literally screamed their name at one point, and I was just trying to see if they could hear me, and they couldn't hear me. Like, they didn't even turn around, like, nothing. So they were so far out of the way that me screaming as loud as I possibly could, they couldn't even hear me, okay? Are you starting to see kind of where I'm going with this? Because if not, you know what I'm saying, I need you to keep up. Okay. We're already separated. I'm already feeling some type of way because I can kind of see what dude is trying to do. So we're still heading towards the president's house. And as I'm noticing that I'm being kept behind from everybody else, I'm starting to like the panic is really starting to set in. And dude on my horse starts talking to me. At first it was like, you know, casual conversation. He told me his name. And then he asked like what we were here for, like what we were in Panama for. I told him it was for my mom's birthday. And then he also asked, like, how long we were going to be there. And so this is where I fucked up, okay? I fucked up and told him that we were going to be there for 8 days, okay? Never tell somebody how long you're going to be out the country, especially if you don't know them. Like, they may have ulterior motives. Anyway. So after I told him all of this is when it starts to get really fucking weird, okay? He has his hand on my hip as we start riding the horses, okay? Like, literally, his hand was, like, right here. Hence these bruises that I still have. Anyways, he had his hand on my hip, and that was okay with me because, you know, I know you're trying to keep me on the horse. I know you don't want me to fall, but I got the reins, and I'm a big girl, so whatever. Cool. That wasn't really my issue. My issue was he decided to like move his hand down into my, like, thighs, and I also have bruises on there, too. And I also got burned from him as well. So I have burns on I have like bruises and burns on my legs from him, okay? Y'all, I'm sorry. This story is like, I literally didn't even think it would be this hard to tell it because, I mean, it already happened and I really did think I dealt with it, but it's just like telling the story is like at one point when I was telling the story, I was really mad, but like now when I'm telling the story, I just kind of feel sad because it's just like low-key, I was really taken advantage of, and it just kind of like, yeah. So he had his hand on my hip, and then he ended up moving his hand down to my thigh. Okay, at this point he could tell I was uncomfortable. I literally, like, I looked at him and I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I turned my whole body around on this stupid horse and I looked at him like the most disgusting look possible. And then he goes, "Are you uncomfortable?" "Yeah, I'm uncomfortable, bro. I'm very uncomfortable." And I even told him, I was like, you know, "Can you walk the horse? Can you just, you know, walk the horse? Can I get off? Like, can you take me back to the resort, please?" Like, these are things that I was telling him because I was just so uncomfortable. Like, I literally felt like I couldn't breathe. Like, I felt like I was getting choked up just because I was so, like, scared, you know what I'm saying? Like, so while we were on this ride, he was talking to me, and while he was talking to me, he was, you know, going back and forth between English and Spanish, because prior to, like, right when we first got on and he started talking to me about, you know, how long we're going to stay there, what his name is, everything like that, I did tell him I can understand Spanish and I can speak some Spanish as well, right? So he kind of felt comfortable speaking to me in Spanish, I guess. Whatever. Well, this is where I started to feel very, very, very uncomfortable and very unsafe, okay? Because while he was talking to me in Spanish, everything was cool. Like when I tell y'all I can pick up and I can hear and I can understand, like, just please understand that. Like, I've been in Spanish for 3 years. I even went to AP Spanish, y'all. Like, come on. So I knew what he was telling me. So he basically was telling me that while I'm in Panama, I need to have fun, I need to be happy, and that I need to have a man. Yes, you heard me right. He said that I need to have a man. Radar going off. You know what I'm saying? So then after he said that I need a man, he goes and proceeds to say, you know, in Panama, when you're with a man, you know, nothing bad is going to happen to you. You know, like, nobody's going to sexually assault you. Nobody's going to rape you. Nobody's going to hurt you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's telling me all these things in Spanish. And I'm just like I'm picking up on them because what the fuck are you, like, you really said that to a tourist? Like, come on now. What the fuck? I keep my cool and I turn back at him and I'm just like, yeah, but at least I know how to fight. So you better be ready. Bitch, because don't try me. You really fucking thought you was gonna scare me? Like, you almost had me. You almost had me, bitch. But I'm bigger than that. I'm a bigger bitch than that. After I told him this, he decides to walk my horse, okay? And so he gets off the horse with me because he's behind me in the back of my horse. And that's how he's holding on to me in my hip and my waist and everything like that, okay? So he's behind me. Mind you, when he's telling me these things, he's right here in my ear. So I know when I turned around and I told him that I know how to fight, so he better be ready, it kind of probably scared his ass. Because he was probably like, oh, she do understand Spanish. Oh, she do know what I'm talking about. Oh, she's not stupid. No, bitch, I'm not. I'm not fucking stupid. So after everything was said and done, he starts walking the horse. At this point, this is like the first time that he's walking the horse, okay? So then he gets back on the horse after a while and he's just like, oh, you know, you're safe, you know, you should have fun, you're in Panama, just have fun, like, whatever. At this point, I'm just slurping down my drink as much as I can, like, what's left of my drink, bro. Like, I'm slurping down what's left of my drink so hard and fast because, like, I just cannot believe that this shit is happening to me and nobody else is around me to see or hear what is really going on. So he hops back on the horse and he's back in my ear again, talking about, oh, you're in Panama, it should be fun, you should enjoy yourself, you just relax, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look uncomfortable, just relax. Nigga, if you know I'm uncomfortable, why the fuck are you behind me again? So I tell him again, can you just take me back? Can I just go back? Can something? So he hops off the horse again and he's just like walking the horse, right? He's just walking the horse all the way back towards the president's house. At this point, my mom and my girlfriend are way up ahead of me. They're already up here at the president's house. We're probably like halfway. Okay, we still have like a good grip of a mile to go, okay? Mind you, this stupid fucking president's house that they're talking about, I don't even see anything. Like, I'm looking, bitch. I'm looking out the motherfucking eyes as far as I can see. And I can't even see no president's house, okay? So I really don't know where they were taking us. But they did tell us that there was a resort that was right next to us that was closed. So maybe they're doing some shady shit over there. But, like, I wouldn't know because I didn't even make it to the president's house, right? So, yeah, I ended up screaming for them to hear me one last time, and finally they turned around and they heard me. And my mom was just like telling my girlfriend, oh, she looks uncomfortable, like he's walking the horse, you know what I'm saying? So at this point they were just like, we need to go back, we need to turn around. So then they start coming back on their horses. Mind y'all, we literally only made it to maybe halfway, possibly halfway to the president's house, okay? So they're finally on their way back, and even on the way back, my dude is tailing everybody. Like, so say this is about halfway. Say it's about halfway, right? So we're here. The president's house is here, okay? They're already on their way back from over here. So when we're going, why does my dude still stay behind everybody else? Like, my girlfriend's trying to tell her horse person to slow down. My mom's trying to tell her horse person to slow down. But no matter what, my horse guy just keeps me in the back. So as we're starting to get close to the beach and we're almost back, my horse guy tells me, again, he's back on the horse and he's in my ear. And he tells me, we're going to keep this a secret, right? We're not going to tell anyone. Like, it's a secret. It's our secret. And I'm just like, no, it's not a fucking secret. It's not at all. And then he goes and puts the cherry on fucking top and he says, so you're gonna come back and see me tonight, right? No, nigga, what the fuck? Absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely not. This, I'm pretty sure, is what really got him in his panties in a twist, because as soon as I told him no, they want to start talking about oh, it's $50 per head. What? But you just told us we was going to be taking pictures. You didn't even tell us that you was going to take us to the fucking president's house. You didn't tell us you was taking us nowhere. So what the fuck do you mean it's $50 per head? I grab my mom and my girlfriend up, and I'm hurrying up trying to tell them what's going on, but they're still going back and forth with the horse people, right? And so I'm like telling them real quick, like, no bro, don't pay him nothing, he just like sexually assaulted me. And as soon as they heard that come out my mouth, they were like, what the fuck happened, like what's going on? So we hurry up, get off the beach, and we get back into the resort. And when we're in the resort, I explained everything that happened, okay? They are pissed. I'm talking about red in the face. Like, I'm crying at this point because I just feel so violated. Like, I'm boo-hooing, okay? So the first thing that we think of is, well, we're gonna go and talk to the front desk. So we went to go talk to the front desk. Before we could even make it to the front desk, we were stopped by these people that are like photographers for the resort or whatever. And so one of the ladies was just like, you know, what's going on, what's happening? And I told her kind of what happened, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry that happened, but you know, the guys on the horses, they're no good. Like, that's all she kept saying. So I'm just like, if you already knew that these people weren't good, why don't y'all tell people don't go to them, don't interact with them, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. When we made it to the front desk ended up telling me that I needed to write out a report. So I wrote out a report, and I'll show y'all the report right here. This is a report. And in this report, you know, I basically just explained everything that I explained to y'all. I said that, you know, he kept trying to tell me it was a secret. He kept telling me, you know, that I needed to have fun, whatever. But he knew I was uncomfortable, and it was very weird, okay? While I was writing the report, my girlfriend tells me that her guy on the horses was having a conversation with her, and he asked her, you want some cocaine? Nigga, what? And then he proceeds to say, oh yeah, you know, Colombia's just right over there. It's only a day trip. I'll be going back and forth. So you're admitting to me that you're a drug smuggler in a different country, and you're trying to give me drugs that you smuggled? No. Fuck no. What the fuck do I look like, bro? Like, I'm sorry, bro, but that's just not me. No, absolutely not. And so I even added that into the report too, because it's just like, come on now. So after I write the report out, I was told that this report was going to be going to the police. Well, wrong. Apparently, this report only goes to the hotel, okay? And the hotel that I was staying at was Riu Playa Blanca. And if you know Riu, you know that Riu is a pretty good, it's like a 5-star hotel resort chain, right? Like, it's pretty well known. And so for this to happen at a Riu resort is just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Mind-boggling. After we give the report to the front desk, they tell us that, no, this report is only for the hotel. So we're like, okay, well, can you call the police up here? Because we need to talk to the police. So we started trying to, you know, talk to the police. Finally, after the police show up, okay, mind you, we were under the impression that this was going to be the local police, okay? The local police authorities. That's what the hotel told us. And that's also what came out of the mouth of the police officer, okay? So, boom, we have the police in front of us. I'm explaining to them what happened. The officer asks if I have a picture of the guy on the horse. And I do, because I was videoing, right? So, well, I was videoing before everything happened. So, of course, I have a picture. So, I show him the picture, and he's like, oh, well, this is the second time that I've been caught out here for the same guy, for the same type of situation. And I'm just like, okay, so are you going to go arrest him? Are you going to go get him? Are you going to do something? No. He does nothing. He just listens to my report and then gets our WhatsApp number so he can communicate with us, right? So I tell him that I wrote the report for the hotel, and, you know, I have a picture of that. I can send it to you. You know what I'm saying? I could do whatever you want me to do. But he was just like, you know, don't worry about it. I'll take this to the judge. So I'm just like, okay, everything is handled. Cool. Whatever. Everything was not handled, bro. Literally, after that, we went to the room. I showered. Like, I felt disgusting. I just felt like some random man hands all over my body that I did not consent to. Please. So I take my shower. I'm still crying, you know, it's just a lot of emotions. And then we ended up going downstairs. When we go downstairs, we go to the bar, and it's by the pool, because at this point I'm just like, I'm not going to the beach at all, right? Not only because they wanted us to pay them, but because of what happened. You get what I'm saying? Another thing with that whole you gotta pay me $50 per head situation really kind of irritated me, because first of all, they said there was an ATM in the resort. There was no ATM. We would have to leave the resort to go to an ATM. Mind you, to leave the resort, you have to pay for a taxi. What kind of money are we gonna pay when we don't even have any cash on us, because there's no ATM in the resort? Make it make sense. So I'm already just like, we're not going back to the beach. I cool off of that, you know what I'm saying? So we go to the bar, and it's at the pool near the beach, right? So we can see the beach and they can see us, but we're at the bar. So we're chilling, sitting at the bar, sitting in like the lounge chairs around the bar, whatever. And all of a sudden, somebody comes up to us. And the person that comes up to us is, I believe at first it was a bartender, right? And the bartender was just like, hey, come here. Mind you, he had already told all my business to all of the other bartenders that were there. Okay. And he goes and he starts laughing in my face when he's telling me, like, dude at the beach wants you. Like, the guys on the horses, they want you. They say you owe them money. I look at him so, like, disgusted. And I'm just like, do you know what he did to me? Like, he just sexually assaulted me, and you're over here asking me about fucking money? So now I'm supposed to pay you for sexually assaulting me? Be fucking for real. Anyways, so I get him to leave, and I tell him, go fuck off, basically. And then another guy comes up to us. A fucking security guard for the resort comes up to us and tells us the same thing. So I'm just like, you're supposed to be a security guard, but you're going onto the beach where these people don't even have a room at the resort, talking to them, saying that I owe them money, but you don't even know what the fuck happened. So I tell him again. I tell him the situation. I tell him to fuck off. And then the last straw for me was really a photographer guy came over to me. Yeah. Remember how I told y'all I was just talking to the photographer lady? Why the fuck did a photographer guy come over to me and tell me the same fucking thing, and then go dap up the security guard and the bartender that was just talking to me? So immediately I got my ass up and I went to the front desk and started raising fucking hell. I ended up talking to the manager of the security people. I ended up talking to the manager of like one of the general managers of the whole resort, whatever, and kind of caught them up to speed about what was going on. So at this point, we ended up getting the manager, the security manager, and he comes down and he's like pointing out which security guard it was that, told you to go talk to the people on the beach. Because I told the security manager, I was like, this is what fucking happened at the beach, and you have one of your security guards coming up to me telling me that I need to go talk to them. Like, I just feel very unsafe. Why would you even do that? We point out the security guard that came over to us or whatnot, and the security guard manager literally pulls him aside and he's just like, so do you work for him or do you work for me? Which is a very valid question. But when he's asking this, I'm just like in shock, because it's just like, who do you work for? Are they cutting you money off on the side or what? You know what I'm saying? So it was mind-boggling. And then I had the idea to just call the fucking embassy, because I had a feeling that my information, I had a feeling that nothing that I had to say was gonna go anywhere besides these fucking resort walls, okay? And I was very, very fucking true. It's true. It was true. Later on, we ended up finding out that the police officer that came over to us, he was not the local authorities, he was the tourist police, okay? And if you know anything about traveling out of the country and you've had to deal with police out of the country, then you know that the tourist police are the last people that y'all need to talk to. You need to first talk to your local police, then you talk to the tourist police, and then you talk to the embassy, okay? But see, they cut that whole chain of command. So they just want to go straight to the tourist police. So you know what? I said, fuck it, I'm gonna call the embassy. Why did I try to call the embassy from our hotel room? And I couldn't get in. It was like our lines were tapped. Like, every single time I was listening, I would hear like tapping on the other end. There would be no one in the room with me, and it's dead silent. I would hear tapping, or the call wouldn't even ring, and then it would just go straight to, all agents are busy, goodbye. Like, so I couldn't get anybody on the phone at the U.S. embassy. I tried to call the Panama embassy, couldn't get nobody on the phone. So we were dealing with this for quite literally the entirety of our stay. I've been trying to call the embassy the entire time. I was trying to talk to anybody that I could talk to. And we ended up talking to the police officer another time, right? But before I get to that, let me tell you this part that really, really, really pissed me off, right? So after we talked to all the managers, we talked to the police and everything like that, we were back in the room. And, I'm still going through the motions, like crying, like just trying to get my life together, right? But something in me told me to look at the horses. So because we had a beachfront view, like our balcony was on the beach, right? So we could see everything that was happening at the beach, and everything that was happening at the pool, everything that was happening at the bar. We could see everything, right? So I went out onto our patio and I decided that I was going to see if I could see the guy that was on my horse. So I saw him, and when I saw him, he also had another female on the horse. And I think I actually have video of this, so If I do, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here for y'all to see. But I saw that he had another female on the horse with him, and they were heading towards the president's house. But before they could even get there, the lady grabs the reins of the horse and turns the horse around. So they end up going back towards the hotel. Mind you, she also had her husband or her boyfriend or whoever on one of the other horses that were supposedly supposed to be riding with her, but they kept them separate. So when I saw that she was heading back to the resort, I just decided, like, no questions, I need to go talk to her. I need to see her. I need to talk to this woman, okay? So we went down there and we talked to her, and she tells us that he asked her to buy drugs off of him, and that as long as she promised to come back and buy drugs off of him, her rides on the horses would be free the entirety of her stay. So you want somebody to come buy drugs off of you that bad, but you were willing to kidnap 3 civilians that don't even live here, bro, sexually assault one of them, and then you want to barge us for fucking money? $50 a head, my nigga? We didn't even ask for none of this. So, boo. Anyways, the fact that she told me that that's what they wanted her to do kind of confirmed that no, they don't fucking need our money at all. Like, at all. Basically, we ended up going through our entire stay with this situation happening, and quite literally got no resolution. Like, the very end of our stay, I tried to call the embassy from the front desk, and I finally got on the phone with them, and the lady on the phone had the audacity to tell me that I was trying to do something too big, and that essentially my situation is just what it is. So the lady on the embassy didn't tell me anything. She told me that, you know, basically fuck me. Fuck what happened to me. When I got home, after everything was said and done, I did try to call the embassy here in America. Well, seems like because I'm in America, I can't get anywhere for anything or any resolution or any justice or anything that happened from Panama. So I guess I'm just SOL. That's basically what the fuck happened in Panama, y'all. It was very, 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 very traumatic. And I highly recommend traveling with people. Don't travel solo if you ever go to Panama, just because I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that ever again. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry if this story time was a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but I did want to get it off my chest before we got into, you know, February of 2024, because that is my new year. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or anything that I should do, any people that I should call, or, you know, anything like that, please let your girl know, because I am just trying to get over it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more story times like this, please let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, besties, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and don't let anybody tell you anything that you're not comfortable with, okay? Fuck them. But yeah, I love y'all. Stay safe. Peace.